A lot is going to happen in this next turn, so we might as well get right to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move 2 core right down here into, what is this place? Falmouth, which is just east of Manassas. And then I'm going to move a core under Jackson up here into Alexandria and try and take that. So here's what he's got. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, Bedford Forest didn't move down to Jackson last turn, even though he's supposed to. So I'm going to try and connect him up with Jackson. He's going to be the rest of these forces here. And then I have early 433 and then Hood 541. I'm going to move him up to Alexandria. Take that, hopefully. I'm going to move Longstreet, which has got D.H. Hill 433, Lafayette McLaws 313, and then Bernard B 322 up here to just south of Alexandria. And then I'm going to move, so I'm going to move Lee over here, obviously. And then Claiborne's Corps, who's got a 432 under Kirby Smith, 533 under AP Hill, and then 323 under Alexander Stewart, excuse me. And then obviously the bonus to artillery under Alexander, also just south of Alexandria. Now, the reason I'm doing that is I'm putting 2 core here is that if he's going to attack me, I suspect he's going to attack me down here. And this is the more important location for me, because if he attacks here and takes it, then Jackson's going to be cut off, theoretically. And then if he decides to attack Jackson, fine, whatever, I can pull Jackson back. And then Jackson still has the access to potentially take DC. So he thinks he can put some ships here and stop me. I'm looking here, and it does not look like up here where Montgomery, Maryland are. I don't think he can get any ships up there. So he could get some ships here. I could just cross over to Maryland and then move down south. So I might do that. We'll see. I'm going to move Mosby up here to Leesburg. I'm then going to move cavalry and then some whatchamacallem, Rangers up here to tear up the rail line, and then I'm moving Stewart up into Fredericks, Maryland to also tear up the rail line, with the idea being that if he's going to see any reinforcements, it's going to take him a minute to do it. I'm then going to move Hoke, who's 422, and then Stevenson, who's a 2 defense with a hospital and a supply wagon, up to where Ewell is, and basically replace him, so that I can move Ewell over here to Smith, who has got a 322 under Rhodes and a 3222 under Evans, and he's also connected to Lee. And so what you're going to have is you're going to have a core here at Culpeper, and then 2 core across the river, but also connected to Culpeper. That way, if he attacks Culpeper, I'll have 3 core involved in that battle. And then if he attacks Jackson, I'll have 3 core involved in that battle. So no matter where he attacks me, I'm going to have, 8 divisions here, or 9 divisions total here. He'll still be able to outnumber me if he throws everything he's got, but I have better generals, and if he goes down to Culpeper, I'll have that defensive bonus, not only for being dug in, but also from that river crossing penalty. So I don't foresee him going that way. Instead, what he's going to do is probably go after me in his rear, which is what I want. I don't necessarily anticipate winning the battles over here. Perhaps it's a draw. But what I do want to do is bleed him down and inflict some casualties on him. Because the rate that we're going, it's going to end up like over here in Tennessee, where I have 3 corps and he's got these just massive stacks of troops. So he's got 10-8 over here on my far right flank, and it's very clear what he's doing. He doesn't want to attack Nashville, so he's trying to outmaneuver me. I think the next move that he's going to have is to go down in my rear on the rail line and then just try and cut me off and flush me out. So he's entrenching here. He's probably going to build a depot here. He already has. There's the depot. He's got a depot here, and then he's got a depot up here, and then one in Bowling Green. And looks like he's got about, what, 13,000, almost 14,000 power between these 3 stacks here. It's pretty insane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take John Morgan. I'm going to move him up here. Hopefully retake this area. And then if I can, use this as a launching point into his rear on his rail lines as well as his depot up here. I'm going to move Johnston off of the Mississippi, which is a bit of a risk, admittedly, because he does have a 3-division stack here, plus a little bit up here. Not a whole lot, but he's got something here. But it's worth the risk. So I'm going to move Johnston on Bowling Green. He might put troops here next turn. I don't know. So it's a bit of a risk on my end. I only have 2 divisions there. And then I'm going to move across the river with Johnson here with the 3 divisions. But I'm moving Forney up. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to have, because it's day 5 that he's getting here, and Forney's getting here on day 4, I'll have all 3 of my corps involved in this battle over here against what he has is, what, 3 divisions and then 1 more? So 4 divisions against 6, 9. So I feel pretty good about that. And hopefully what will happen is we win this one, which then means Johnson can just push right through and go for Bowling Green. And if we do that, then he's got almost 13,000 power worth of troops cut off from supply, which then will force him to kind of backtrack, and at least I presume backtrack, because I don't see how he's going to be able to continue pushing south without supply. He's not going to be able to take Nashville quick enough to, I think, feel confident of being cut off like that. So we'll see how this goes, and then kind of play it by ear. I did print money, which cost us more inflation, and as you can see, I spent all of it. I went ahead and built this stack, pretty expensive, but worth it. I'm just kind of thinking of an additional defense here in the event that he does push through Nashville. I didn't build a whole lot for the map, although I did build some more 10-pounders. But what I really did was I spent a lot of my money on replacement stuff. So elite, more line infantry, more cavalry, even 2 raiders. So that's a bit expensive because it's 23 per, so it's 46. But we've been getting about 9 money a turn. So this will pay for itself within maybe 4 or 5 months, in my opinion. So I'm going to get those repaired. And then I also put money into heavy artillery, which is very expensive. But I do have several 20-pounders on the map that just can't be repaired without this. So my hope is these 2 will last for the remainder of the game. And then I also put it on supply trains, which were also pretty expensive. Basically, the artillery is expensive, so that's what I spent most of my money on. But my hope is next turn I'll be able to issue war bonds, which will lower my inflation and also get me a bunch of money. And then I did draft. So I get 45 conscripts, cost me 15 VP, but it gets me 45 conscripts. So I did that in 2 areas. That gave me 90 conscripts, and then my hope is the next turn I can issue war bonds and then recruit a lot more troops, because I think there's going to be a lot of battles here in the next few months. I did keep up here at Paducah 2 divisions, and then I'm moving Anderson forward up to just south of Paducah in Columbus in the event that he decides he wants to try and move across. What I will do is I'll probably bring my my fleet up in between just to try and block him from any sort of movement. I'll probably put it right here. That way, if he wants to make a move on me, he can be on Paducah. But I'm feeling with 2 divisions here that should be enough to, I think, withstand any sort of attack. And then I can always move Johnston back if I need to. Arkansas, it's pretty annoying. So I had Van Dorn set up for a defense, and I'm almost confident I did not have this evade combat on. And for whatever reason, he was able to cross the river without any sort of combat, even though I had 100% military control. So I don't have an explanation for that. The rule is supposed to be in this game on mechanics, if you have anything less than 5% military control, then there should be a battle. I had 100. I still have 100, even though he's here, and yet there was no battle. So I don't know what happened with that. We do have our fleet in position, so we can't get supplied. As you can see, this is blockaded. But it looks like we're going to have to burn this and pull out, which I'm currently doing. In the far west, interestingly enough, so he's taken the forts, which is smart because they're worth a lot of supply. But he left El Paso empty. So I'm moving back in there. I'm hoping there's supply there. I don't know if there is. And then I have this fort here. I'm going to have to kind of bounce around on the map here, I think. Take this initially, see if I can't keep it. I'm recruiting Mescalaros, which are 15,000 each. But I think it's worth it out here because he's deep in here. And although he can use these forts for supply, at least initially, I feel like he's going to burn through them pretty quick. We'll see. Probably what I should have done early in the game, now that I'm looking at it, and perhaps you can learn this lesson, is burn these forts. Because you really don't have any use for them. If you lose these areas over here, you probably should fall back behind the river over here to give you a nice buffer between him and whatever he has from California and Colorado. Instead, what he's doing is he's using it for supply, which makes sense. It's smart. So this will be kind of in flux and fluid on what we do over here too. So we're doing over this window here. Nothing else going on. I'll show you the victory menu next turn. Anything else I need to show you? Let me show you over here in Ohio. So he's got this guy here. I think he was making a move on the depot. So I'm a complete idiot. I did not realize you could take your Indian commander under weighty and take the Indians and turn them into a division. So I just did that finally. What did we, June 63, and just now figured that out? But I did that here, trying to get military control. And then I'm trying to blow up these depots over here with the depot partisan rating card, which blows up depots and then tear up the rail line. Again, to circumvent his ability to move troops from the west to the east to reinforce an attack on DC. And then we're tearing up the rail line over here. And that's about it. So next turn, there should be some in action. Mainly because I'm the one attacking, so I know there's going to be some action. But we'll simulate the turn, and we'll be back.